Happy weekend to you, and welcome back to another episode of Life in the Higham house. It is Saturday, and believe it or not, it is a gorgeous day. Look at that sky. You would not believe that for the last 24 hours we've had nothing but rain again, and the Ohio River is at flood stage. They're projecting that it will crest later on this afternoon, which means there'll be some minor flooding in our area again. Fortunately, we are north of all of that, and our elevation is significantly higher than that. So while we've got some wet grounds, we are not experiencing any flooding, for which we are very thankful for. But it is Saturday. It's a beautiful day. It absolutely is a gorgeous day. Again, look, that's the sun up there. Isn't that crazy? That's the sun. But we got lots of chores to do. We've got, in our area, we have a couple weekends where you can bring all sorts of hazardous waste and junk and trash that you just need to get rid of. That's happening today. We're hoping to make a run with some stuff that we've been holding on to that needs to go. I've got some chicken chores. I've got some gardening chores. We're going to hopefully transplant our first tray of seedlings into pots. Hopefully that happens today. We've got some indoor projects we're hoping to touch base with. And we've got Capernaum today, which is one of the joys of our lives right now, as we get to go and share Jesus and hang out with a lot of our Capernaum friends. Looking forward to that. And all three kids are home. Well, 3 of the 5 kids are home. But we're looking forward to a busy morning, a afternoon of ministry, and then we're having dinner with all of our leaders. That should be fun. And then we get worship tomorrow. And so we got lots to do today, and then hopefully resting tomorrow. But it's Saturday. It's working around the house day. It's chicken chore day. It's garden day. Like, we got lots to do. So we're going to get in it. And the first thing I need to do is I need to get this grassy area right here where I'm standing all cut, because we're going to bring the chicks out today and let them enjoy the sunshine for a little while. They're getting... So it has rained so much over the last 2 weeks. Everything is just kind of like a swamp. And like all of my deep bedding in here with the chickens, it's nothing but mud. You just step in there and go right down. I've got some fresh straw I want to lay down, but I'm wondering if I should wait for it to dry out a little bit so that I don't get any like grossy things growing up in it. I know with deep bedding, you just keep applying in the bedding. You put more and more on. But that usually has to do with like straw, wood chips, stuff like that. And there's an area, there's a tree service in the area that I think is willing to bring chips out. I just have to call them. And I was waiting till this season to do it, to actually set up and have them bring out like a truckload of wood chips to put into the run. And that'll really get me through the summer. But for now, I think I'm going to let it dry out a little bit. And maybe tomorrow we'll be able to put some fresh straw in. And that'll increase the bedding, give them some dry stuff. Plus with the straw, it's great activity for them because they like to scratch through it, get the seeds and things that are in the straw. And basically what I do is I put a couple piles in there, and they just get in there and go at it and scratch it and move it all around the place. And within a few minutes, they'll have the entire run completely covered with fresh straw. And that's just a good, fun activity for them. But I want to talk about this bucket feeder. So I've seen this a number of times. You can get these red inserts that you can apply to your feeders. You just get a bucket, you drill some holes, you screw them in, and then you can load the bucket up and get 2 days. I do half a bucket, and I get about 2 days of feed, a little more than half a bucket, and I can get 2 days of feed for them, which I like because then it's a little easier for me to care for them. I'm not doing the same thing every single day. Even today, there was still some seed in it, some feed, and so that's pretty good. But I like this, and I'll probably do another one because I'm thinking when summer rolls around and we do things like our week at camp or we do vacation, we have our neighbor come and watch them, and she loves coming to watch them. But I want to make it as easy for her as possible, and so for me, that's setting up so that she doesn't have to worry about feeding them as much or watering them as much. And so I think if I get one more of those blue feeders, I might be able to get up to 4 or 5 days. If I fill them all the way up, I might get a week out of it. And that would be really, really helpful. The downside is I also got the parts to make the waterer, where you drill smaller holes, you put little water caps in there, and it's a natural water. My plan was for the summer to hook up a gravity-fed system, catching rainwater, and then feeding the waterer all summer long so that we don't have to change the water. Other than maybe once or twice, maybe a couple times, getting into it, washing it, my goal is to have that. So I put it together, and you may have seen it in one of the earlier vlogs, because I hung it in there, but 2 of the valves leak. 2 of the little pool things that they get their water from are leaking. So I have to go back and figure out why they're leaking. All the other ones seem to be doing the right thing. But if I can get that figured out, I could potentially have them fed and watered for at least a week at a time. And then for our neighbor, all she has to do is just make sure they're let out in the morning and make sure they get back in at night. And eventually I'll resolve that with a solar powered door, but that's going to come after the coop remodel. So I'm going to remodel the coop with that in mind, and then that way when I get the parts for the door, I can install the door, and then they'll be pretty much self-contained, self-sufficient. The door will go up in the morning, chickens can come out, the door goes down in the evening when all the chickens are in, and that way it's a little easier for me to take care of them. We can do some of the things that we're planning for this summer, a vacation, working at camp, stuff like that. We have 2 camp trips, one with our friends at Pine Springs, and our second camp trip is with Capernaum, and then we have vacation squeezed in there too. And so those are 3 weeks that we're going to be away. I want to make sure that we have something set up so that the chickens are pretty well taken care of. So I got to get them some water and then move on to the next project. So far so good. So we've got the chickens taken care of. We loaded up the truck with all the stuff that we wanted to run to the dumps because of the free cleanup day, only to get to the place where thought we were going and learning that it was yesterday. So with a truck full of stuff, we had to bring it back, unload it. I'll do it for another time. But got a fair amount done today. Not everything I wanted to do. Still have to move the plants. That's probably going to have to wait till another day because I don't think we're going to get to that today. But so we've got Capernaum, so I need to jump in the shower and we need to get ready to go to Capernaum. So let's put all the outside stuff on hold for now. And let's go have some fun with our friends at Capernaum.